So students, we learned about the three types of inertia, that is the inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. Hope now this concept would have been clear, that why do you feel the jerk, right? So that's an interesting concept. Now let's try to understand more about the Newton's laws of motion. What prompted Newton to devise the laws? So please be here, stay tuned to understand about the Newton's laws of motion, which I'll be discussing in my next topic. Thank you. So what basically do we understand with the laws of inertia? So inertia basically of a body basically refers to the inability of a body to change its state. So it is a kind of a resistance that is offered by the body itself when it is at rest or in uniform motion, obviously in a straight line. It cannot change its state on its own. Obviously, it will need some external agency to change its state. When we bifurcate it further, inertia can be divided further into three basic parts. That is inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. Let's try to understand more about these three. So first of all, if we talk about the inertia of rest. So what does inertia of rest actually stand for? Let's take up an example. As you can see, you have a cardboard piece. On that, you have a coin that has been kept. And you have an empty glass, let's say. So as soon as you pluck this cardboard, what is going to happen? You'll see that the coin is going to fall down within the glass. We should have expected that as the cardboard moves, the coin should also move. But since it is in a state of rest, and there is a sudden change in the state of the cardboard, the coin does not get that state and therefore it falls down as is. So this can be explained like this. So a body which is at rest will remain at rest unless or until some external force is applied on it. So unless you apply an external force, the body is not going to move on its own. So it is the inability of a body to move on its own, that is what is defined as the inertia of rest. Taking it further, let's assume that you have a car that is moving at, let's say, 60 miles per hour and it hits an obstacle. So this is what is defined as inertia of motion. Therefore, it is the inability of a moving body to stop on its own, that is what we define as the inertia of motion. In this case, the man was moving with the car, but the car comes to rest, but the man still has its state in motion. Therefore, even though the car stops, the man is still being in a state of motion, falls out of the car. So that is what has been explained here. Going further to the last one of inertia, we talk about the inertia of direction. So inertia of direction basically refers to the tendency of a body by which it opposes or it resists any change in its direction of motion. That is what is called the inertia of direction. So inertia of direction is because of any opposition to the change in the direction of a moving object, or you can simply say the inability of a moving body to change its direction on its own. For example, if you have a car that is moving in a circular path, it will continue to move in the circular path unless you apply an external force to it. And similarly, you can have a hoop which is moving in this kind of circular path, so it will continue to move in this kind of a circular path. Yeah. So hopefully this made sense as to what exactly does inertia stand for. We'll in our next module start off with the Newton's laws. We'll give you an introduction and then we'll move forward with the Newton's laws. Thank you. Hello students. So welcome back. We introduced the topic in our last lecture, that is where we understood about the forces and the types of forces that are there. We also learned there was a quiz that I asked you in the ending of the last session. That was, supposing you are sitting in a car and the car suddenly starts, then what is the kind of reaction force that you face? We'll learn about more on it. That is, in this particular topic, that is in this particular part, we'll be learning about the law of inertia. What are the different types of inertia that we have? What types of inertia affect us in what way? That is the inertia of rest, inertia of motion and the inertia of direction. So please be here and try to learn about this. Thank you.